It's not just out in the wide world that you find these examples of the water cycle. If you happen to have one of those clear tea kettles like we have here, you can watch it happen. You start out with liquid water, and instead of sunlight, you add thermal energy from the bottom. The water begins to gurgle and boil, and the bubbles start to form as the water at the bottom of the body of liquid begins to be heated and turns from liquid water to vaporous water. The gas forms bubbles as the vapor forms because gas has a greater volume than water per number of molecules and goes up to the surface. But as the gaseous water hits the lid of the kettle, it condenses because the lid of the kettle is much cooler than the bottom part of the kettle. The water condenses, turns back from vapor into liquid water and falls back into the bottom. Now, this is not a closed system or anywhere near it, so some water is escaping out of the spout. But for most of the water stays trapped in the kettle for a very long time, constantly going through this miniature water cycle. The only thing that you can't see here is, of course, freezing, because you generally don't want your apartment cold enough to freeze water. But this is a fun little way that you can watch the water cycle happening in real time. Now remember, the water is boiling, and so it's evaporating very, very quickly, going from liquid water to gaseous water or water vapor. The water vapor rises to the top of the container where it hits the surface and it condenses or turns from gaseous to liquid again, and then it falls as precipitation in the form of little tea kettle raindrops. You can see this if you pull up the lid of any pan that's been on the stove, you will see water on top of the pan. That's not splashes, that's condensation. What are some other places that you can find condensation? Think about it.